Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
Well, here we are, and here we go again. It's time for another episode of the Morning Mindset Podcast. Thank you very much for joining me, for being out there, for listening louder and paying attention. And if you bought the book, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And if you didn't buy the book, well, I can't really thank you because you didn't. But it is available on Amazon as a paperback or a Kindle version. And we are going to continue with our Morning Mindset book study. And also, I would like to remind you that you can leave a review if you bought the book on Amazon. You can leave a review, and I truly would appreciate it if you would do so. If you enjoyed the book and enjoyed the experience, please leave a review so that other people will know. That's right, other people will know. All right, let's talk about letting the topic of today, let success sneak up on you. And I understand that may seem a little bit strange or unusual or confusing because you said, but Paul, you did at the very beginning, you talked about goals and setting goals, short-term goals, midterm goals, long-term goals, and so forth. How can I let success sneak up on me if I've already plotted it out, if I already have my goals? Well, I'm going to tell you. You can't always focus on the goal. Sometimes you have to focus on the process. Now, when I talked about the goals that I had set, I mentioned that I've set goals over the years, but one specific situation, when I was back in the Marine Corps, a friend of mine told me that I needed to write down my goals. I needed to do it. And I listened to him because he went to college. He was a smart guy, right? And I don't know if he listens to this or not, but if he's not listening, Dick, you're wrong. So fix yourself. But he said, write down your goals. And I did. And I wrote down several goals. And like I said in the podcast, I wrote those down in a spiral notebook, read them, and then I put the notebook away. And I guess I probably referred back to them, a few times or what have you. But then I changed duty stations, and that spiral notebook got packed up, got put away, and I didn't see it again for years. It wasn't until I got out of the active duty Marine Corps and I was, back home living my life that I found that notebook, and I opened it up and I read the goals that I had written down years before. And I realized that I had achieved, except for one goal, I had achieved all of them. And it wasn't because I focused every single day on those particular goals. But what I did was I focused on how to achieve them. And recently, a good friend of mine was doing a Facebook Live. And he said that people spend too much time focusing on their goals and not enough time focusing on the process. And to the modern person, a person who's attended all these professional seminars and read books and so forth, is like, this guy's crazy. He's wrong. It's, in the book I read, goals and how to set them and how to keep them, he's telling me to forget about that and worry about the process. Well, in the book, in the Morning Mindset book, I talked about how the goal when I was in basic training and we were at the rifle range, my goal was to become an expert marksman, to qualify high enough in order to wear the expert marksmanship badge, which in basic Marine Corps is the highest rifle qualification badge you can earn. It's called expert, right? So that was my goal. But having that goal wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me to say to myself, okay, I want to be an expert rifleman. I want to earn the badge and wear it. That wasn't enough. What I had to do was I had to apply myself and I had to focus and practice, and I had to put my physical and mental energy into developing enough skill so that on that day that would happen. But I didn't just practice, physically, focus mentally, and then go to the range and sit down and think, all right, I'm going to be an expert today, and I'm going to shoot a high enough score to be an expert. On that day, my coach told me, he said, I don't want you focusing on anything but that individual shot. Now, you have to shoot many rounds on the rifle range. You have to shoot a lot of rounds. They add up your score, and at the end of the day, they tell you how you did. But you don't focus on the outcome, on the end score. In order to get there, what I needed to do was focus on one individual shot at a time. Not, the next 4. No, it doesn't matter that you have 29 more shots to make after this. This one right now that you're going to make has to be perfect. And then once you've done that one, then the next one will be perfect, then the next and the next and the next. And until the end of the day, before you know it, you're finished. They add up the score. Guess what? You are going to be a marksman or an expert marksman. Now, maybe you say, but Paul, I'm not a Marine. Doesn't apply to me. Okay, you have a small business? You do? You have customers? Yes, I have customers. Okay. Now, you could be thinking, you say, well, I have a small business, and my goal is to make $1 million in sales this year. And you say, well, in the business that I'm in, I'm not going to make $1 million in sales. Nobody does. Okay, let's say your goal is $500,000 in sales this year. All right. How do you get that $500,000 in sales? Do you get up every day and think, how am I going to make $500,000? Every day when you go to work, every week, do you get your team together and you say, we need to make $500,000. Give me some ideas. How are we going to do it? And you say, Paul, that's crazy because that's not how business works. You can't just sit around and think, I need $500,000 idea. Well, how do you do it? You say, well, we have customers, all right? You focus on that customer experience and you make that particular one the best it can be, that sale, that customer experience, whatever. Then you do the next one and the next one and the next one, just like firing one shot at a time. And at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the week, at the end of the year, if you have success after success after success, it adds up. Look what you did. You just achieved your goal. But if you spend every day thinking, I haven't achieved my goal yet. How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? I have to sell $1 million, $500,000, whatever. I have to sell that. You're going to spend all your time focusing on how to do that and not how to get there. Not on the way. And that's, I believe, what my friend was talking about, or part of what my friend was talking about. He said people say goal, 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 and they forget about the process. How do I reach that goal, and what do I do to reach that goal? Let success sneak up on you. If you focus on doing it right, even when it's small, and that's the truth is that's why short-term goals are very valuable. Your large goal may be, I want to have a successful business that has $1 million a year in sales. That's my long-term large goal. But you have to figure out, how am I going to get there? You have to have stuff in between. You can't be so focused on the success that you forget how to achieve it. Let success sneak up on you. Set your goals, write them down, have a mission statement or what have you, and then move on to accomplishing it. Move on to the process, whatever that process may be. And when you do that, you may just be surprised at how success has snuck up on you. And there it is, looking you right in the face. And you're like, man, I was so focused on doing things right and doing things the right way. Woke up and there is my goal. It's achieved. That's largely what happened to me, in the goals that I wrote down years and years ago. I wrote them down. I started focusing. I moved on. And then years later, I opened up that notebook and I looked in it and I was like, man, look at that. It snuck up on me and here it is. All right. So it's important to have goals. It is. And that's the part of the problem of doing this, or not a problem, but people say, oh, well, you said have goals and now you're saying let success sneak up on you. Yeah, it's actually a combination of the two. So, and I hope that I've explained it fully. I explained it in detail in the book, and you can read that at your leisure later on. That's it for today, folks. I'm your host, Paul Markle. Talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.